Greetings and welcome to Wizards of Fun. My name is Eric and we're live. Whoa, weird. Live for the first time here on YouTube. I do have a history of streaming on Twitch on other channels, but never on YouTube. So please bear with me if I do have any issues. I'm kind of seeing some already as we start here. But I think we're going to be okay. I don't know if anyone's going to actually join today. I don't even know if I set this up correctly so that people can join, but it seems that we're live. I've got 2 boxes of Gothic, so whether you're watching this live or watching this in the VOD, hopefully you can hear me okay, hopefully you can see okay, and hopefully the stream works so that even if you don't catch it live, you can watch as a video, you know, as if this was a just a regular YouTube video. It does say we have 5 concurrent viewers. I assume that means there's actually 5 people here now, but maybe it's just the 5 tabs that I have open of my own stream. I'm not really sure. I won't wait for people to join before I start. We're just gonna kind of get started. I pre-ordered, my original pre-order with Gothic was these 2 boxes here from Team Covenant. Not affiliated with them in any way, but their order came a little bit later than I was hoping. So the first few boxes that you saw me open on the channel, if you've seen my other unboxings, otherwise, if you haven't, consider checking them out if you're interested. Those when I saw that my Team Covenant order was going to be a little bit late, I decided to buy some additional boxes from my local game store to support them and just to get some product, on time on the day of release. So these are the original 2 that I ordered. They're finally here. Again, this is from Team Covenant, and depending on what you're ordering from them, they sometimes have promo cards, and Gothic in particular, I don't know if they're still offering this or not, but with the 2 that I ordered, for every box that you ordered, they offered a Team Covenant skeleton, I believe, promo card. So I suppose we can start the stream by taking a look at these. I will probably be trading or selling these, so if anyone watching is actually interested, please feel free to find me in the DMs of Discord. As cool as these are, I am someone who wants to buy as much playable product as possible, and any foils and any, promos and things like that that I can sell that I don't need, I tend to lean towards selling. However, wow, these are cool. Check these out. Who's the artist? Vasily Ermolov? I don't know that artist, but I know that they did a really good job with the foiling on this. The art looks really good. I love the little crescent moon. Oh, it's a Team Covenant symbol inside of the text. That's really neat. And since I ordered 2 copies, I get 2. Pretty sweet. I'd love to keep these. I mean, these are great tokens, but they are tokens. So one of those things where, again, I don't know how much these are worth, but like if I could trade these for, I don't know, $50 of value each, maybe less, for some cards that I actually need in Gothic, I personally am the one who leans toward doing that. Now, we do have 2 boxes here. I actually wasn't planning on streaming today. So I was planning to just record 1 box opening. However, if we finish the first box really fast and the stream's going well and we want to keep going, maybe we'll crack open a second one. So we'll see. I'll put this one to the side for a moment, but we do have 2 boxes that we can open. I was actually planning to open one just on camera and then announce in that video that I'm going to do a live stream this weekend. But I actually got home from work just a little early today and thought, why not just do it tonight? So we'll start with 1 box. I won't promise that we'll open both. However, if the stream goes well or we're in good spirits or this box is a huge dud or something, let's consider cracking a second one. The 1 card that I'm personally looking for, and also if anyone watching happens to have this card and you're willing to trade or sell it, it's called Putrid Presence. I'm looking at it just on Google here. It's a unique 4-mana water monster, and it has Submerge and Burrowing, and it says that the subsurface of nearby sites can be attacked. So I really want that card. I want to build a deck around that so that we can go under the subsurface and deal damage underwater. I think it'd be really cool. I think it's prone to getting hard countered as well. There's a card in Fire that came out with Gothic that literally just says destroy everything under the surface. So, you know, will it be the best? Probably not. But I actually saw Josh from, where am I going here? Sorry. Saw Josh from Lord of Itza. He made a video and he was talking about a very similar deck. Hey, we got our first comment. Tales of a Quax says, my Gothic boxes aren't showing up until the 29th, and I'm going to have to live vicariously through you for a bit. Man, that breaks my heart to hear it. I'm sorry, but I'm happy to hold you over until then. You guys have probably already seen the boxes. I don't want to go too slow with this, but it is a live stream. So sorry if you're watching the VOD and you're like, why is he taking so long? I'm so used to taking my sweet time on a live stream. But so yeah, if you're watching and haven't, it sounds like you're maybe in Australia or the EU. The Dust promo is on the bottom. Hopefully you guys can't steal my promo by looking at that. I'll maybe snags it. But yes, here we go. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I'll go ahead and get started so that you can enjoy. Let me get a whiff smell here. Ooh, people have commented on the fresh, out of the factory smell of Sorcery. It's certainly it's got a, I don't want to say pungent. It's not a bad smell, but it's very strong. Very beautiful inside of the box, of course. Ian Miller art. It's actually funny. One last note, and I promise I'll get started. I was at the park with my son today because I had to take my wife to the dentist, so I took him on a walk. And all of the trees right now in the winter, I looked up and they were so stringy and basically looked like this that I'm so nerdy. I literally looked up and thought to myself, this whole park, at least the trees in the park, look exactly like an Ian Miller piece. That's pretty nerdy, isn't it? But it's true. I was like, if I was wanting to mimic an Ian Miller piece of artwork, I'd go to that park and try to mimic those trees. All right, enough goofing around here. Let's get right to business. And hey, the sooner we get, the more we can justify possibly opening the second box as well on the same night. That would be really cool. I like to personally just start from the left and move over. Starting to see Sorcery in everyday life. Exactly. It's starting to, reality is starting to blend a little bit with fantasy here. All right. I've got my tea here. Just want to make sure I don't knock anything over, get anything wet. We have a lot of packs to go through. So let's get it started. Hey, thank you guys for tuning in to my very first live stream. This is cool. I also made a Twitch channel for Wizards of Fun, the name of this channel. If people are more interested in seeing Sorcery on Twitch, please let me know. I think right now, since it's on YouTube, a lot of the Sorcery guys are all just on YouTube and live streaming on YouTube, and I'm kind of right now. But I did make a Twitch channel, and it's in the description in case if you prefer Twitch, let me know. I will consider doing like a dual stream where I could stream on both this and Twitch at the same time. All right, starting it off. We're not going to dwell too long on the uncommons unless it's one I've never seen. Again, I'm looking for a Putrid Presence, so hopefully we pull it. If we don't, I'm looking to buy it or trade it, so please hit me up in the DMs on Discord. All right, so I'll start an exceptionals and exceptional sites pile here. Maybe off to the side. All right, and we got our first elite in the form of Dole Chance. I don't think I have this yet. Elite Magic of Vocalized Lunacy. Tap any number of nearby allies. Reveal that many spells from the top of your spellbook and cast one for free and put the rest at the bottom. Whoa. That's actually pretty neat. Again, I'm going for my first deck, whether it's good or bad. I want to build a Putrid Presence frog deck. So that requires air to do it. But that would be potentially a card that could be cool. I have 7 frogs in the realm. I tap 7 of them, grab all the spells, pick the one I need. The rest go on the bottom. Maybe. All right, we'll check for foils and or curios here. I haven't seen any new curios get discovered in a while. I think there's like 5 or 6. Sorry if I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I will I would recognize one of them if we saw it. It's like Dapril Manor, one of the ghosts. The Gift of Frog, or Frog Gift, or whatever it's called, would be my personal choice because I'm building a frog deck, of course. I really like the idea of this site really quick before we look at the rare. Thin Ice. So at the end of your turn, if minions atop this site total 5 or more, you submerge them. So this would be really cool to play this, and then like during your turn, you're pulling stuff onto it, and then it's the end of the turn, there's 5 or more power, everything gets submerged. So I'll probably try to play this in my deck, even if it's not great, because it fits the theme of what I'm trying to do. Hey, and our first unique, I have never pulled this card, the Army of the Dead. It is a unique host of undead. Too many. That's really cool. Matthias Frisk. And it says, whenever this army moves or takes damage, it leaves a skeleton token behind. That's interesting. I like that. That's cool. So our first unique, Sea Witch. All right. Grab our commons here. And we're just chugging along. I've got a feeling I won't promise anything, you guys, but we might be doing 2 boxes tonight. I could see this being pretty fun. All right. I keep saying I think we got our first foil, but I think it's just the reflection off of my my little lamp here. Hellfire. Elite Magic of Burning Brimstone. This is the one that hard counters the deck I want to build. It says destroy everything below sights and then deal 2 damage to everything above. So it just deals damage to everything and literally says delete everything underwater. So if they run that in their collection, it's an elite though, right? Is there a way to pull elites out of the collection, or just commons and uncommons? I believe it's just commons and uncommons, but I would not be surprised if someday, if that's not already a thing, that it would become a thing. I'm really enjoying, I haven't gotten to play with Sorcery yet. I've just been cracking it. I'm hoping to get my first couple of games in, maybe starting tomorrow. All right, River Rapids. I think I have 2 or 3 of these now, which is good. Once on your turn, you may push a minion on the connected rivers 1 step. Oh, that's interesting. Once on your turn, you may push a minion on connected rivers 1 step. For some reason, I thought it was only this site. So like I move something here and then move it again, or it's on here and I move it off and then move an attack. But it says connected rivers. That may actually make it worse. Does this, if this is a river rapids, can I use that ability on this site? Would be what I would look up, like the FAQ. Once on your turn, you may push a minion on connected rivers 1 step. I believe the way it reads is you would have a river on either of these sides. It's on that river, and you can push it 1 and then do a move and attack. So it makes rivers connected to this stronger. It might not be as good as I originally thought, just in that sense. It's a little more limited. I thought you could push it right off of itself. But it sounds like you have to set it up with rivers, which means you have to run more rivers to make sure you can hit that, which I'm only running like 4 or 5 in my deck. This is the card that I thought was a curio in the last video, if you happen to see that. I was, spoiler, but I was opening packs and we were talking about curios and I went like this and I went, oh my god, you guys, this could be the Eater of Realms or whatever it's called, Realm Eater. Like, oh my god, oh, it's just a common Survivors of Surwa. It's nothing, unfortunately. All right. Making piles. Well, I hope you guys are all having a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Necromancer. One of the exceptional slot avatars. You'll pull a lot of them, so not super rare, but still cool. Nice! Finally, I got it. The Apex of Babel. A unique site, Triumph and Transgression. Dan Seagrave artwork. So if you have, hopefully we pull the other piece and we can connect it just to look at it here. A full art of both would be really cool. It says when the Tower of Babel is built, you draw a spell and then you may cast a spell for free. So you could have a really, really expensive spell in your hand. You've had the base at the bottom, and then you cast this, draw a spell, any of your spells are free, and you cast it for free. That's awesome. Glad to finally have that. And it is an air. That's cool. So that's our uniques. I guess our exceptionals don't have to be in visible view here. We've got, let me just rearrange here. We are live, so it's a little weird. Let's see, unique site, elite site, avatar, foils, and exceptionals. A pile somewhere. Let's see. I almost want to leave this here. I'm not sponsored by Team Covenant, but just to give the shout out for the skeleton token. It's pretty cool, right? Maybe I'll leave that there. Very cool. All right, let's see if we got any foils or curios. So there's a curio of this card, Gossamer Ghosts. It's just a different artwork. So it's very, like, if you know that this is the normal artwork and then you see a Gossamer Ghost and it's different, it's a curio. All right, chugging along. Well, this is definitely different. So far, I've only done YouTube uploads to this channel. Be Gone, really love this art. Our next unique, man, we're just hitting all the uniques here. Exceptionals, oh yeah, and exceptional sites. I'm gonna put them over there. Okay. Limited desk space here. For 4 mana, it's Plate of the Whale. I don't think I have this yet. It's unique armor of bottomless metal. M-E-T-T-L-E metal. The bearer is immobile if it has less than 3 power. If it has more than 3 power, prevent the first instance of damage it would take each turn. That's pretty cool. So I could equip this onto one of my guys that definitely has 3 or more power, or has more than 3 power rather, and then it becomes like a Tufted Turtles. Or if they have something that's really powerful that's 3 or less, I forget how much, well, it just makes it immobile. I was going to say if they played like Morgana Le Fay or something, but it doesn't kill Morgana. It just makes her immobile. So there's probably use cases, though, for that where, you know, I'm just trying to think of what they would have that's 3 or less power. Is it less than 3 or 3 or less? Less than 3. So it has to be less than or more than 3 for it to do its effect. So we've already pulled 3 of our uniques, and neither of them are the Putrid Presence, which is the card I'm looking for. Overflow, really good. Someone convinced me to add this into my deck. I took it out because I couldn't find what to take out for it. But basically, you draw a site, and then you may play a water site. By the way, please let me know if my stream is muddy at all. Let's see. It looks like I'm streaming at 1080, so I hope it's okay. This is a kind of a test. But if the stream is muddy or anything like that, I'd be happy to stop after one box tonight and try to fix it, and we could do another stream this weekend with better settings. But I came home and thought, I think I have everything kind of set up and all the alerts and stuff, so figured why not just go live. Give it a try. A little different. I'm used to streaming on Twitch, so it's just a lot. There's just some weird differences between the YouTube and the Twitch stream setups. And an Orm Infester. It is a cool card, but I have way too many copies of it. Burrowing and Submerge at the end of your turn. You deal 1 damage to this site, and you heal 1. So you don't have to submerge it in order to get that effect. So this also fits into the kind of deck I'm trying to build, so I'll definitely be including at least 1, I think. And of course, as I play with it, if I find out it stinks, then I'll stop playing with it. But that's kind of the kind of player I am. Now that's peculiar. Let's do a quick curio check. Why are there 2 copies in the same pack? Is there any difference? All the art looks the same. I'm sure I'm overthinking this, but hey, if you get 2 of the same card, I may as well compare them side by side to see if there's anything different. Nope, it's just a fluke. Okay. Not that I'm trying to get hopes up or anything, but there's probably, realistically, there are probably still a couple of curios that have not been discovered yet. I mean, it just came out, right? Could be wrong about that, but it's not impossible. Clairvoyant. For 2 mana and 1 air threshold, it has 1 power. It's an elite mortal that sees the unseen. I don't know if I have this yet. Ward, once on your turn, you may banish a dead minion to look at your top spell, and then you may put it at the bottom. So you can banish something from your opponent's graveyard, and then you get to scry, essentially. Huh. Not the kind of archetype I would personally probably be playing, but sounds interesting. It's got Ward and then just Graveyard Hate. 10-ton slug, it's awesome. No hope subsists beneath this ordinary monster. So great. All right. Persecutor, another exceptional avatar. And our next is a Sentinel Trap. I have not pulled this yet. And it is an elite monument that protects Parapet. It says at the end of each turn, Sentinel Trap deals 4 damage to each unit at the adjacent location that it's facing and then rotates 90 degrees clockwise. That's pretty cool. It's very much like a gargoyle that's on a swivel. So you cast it, it would always start facing forward, right? So you play it just below an enemy, and then you pass the turn. It deals 4 damage to every unit at that adjacent location, and then it turns to the right. That's hilarious. I really love. I don't know if I would ever actually play with that, but that's really cool. So Gift of the Frog is one of the ones that can be a curio. If it has a red bow, it's worth $1,000. So keep it. Well, hang on to it and sell it is my point. That would be really cool. What is the ratio again on curios? It's like 1 in every like 50 boxes or something nuts. Like I know like Kitchen Table, it's a Kitchen Table Magic, Kitchen Table Gaming. Forgive me if I forget your full YouTube name. Kitchen Table. He runs a YouTube channel and owns a card shop. Mismanaged Mortuaries are elite. I've pulled a lot of these. It's flooded, and then you treat your opponent's cemetery as yours, and vice versa. Which is interesting. A lot of graveyard interaction stuff. But yeah, Kitchen Table. I think it's Kitchen Table TCG is his name. He's doing a series where he opens a case every day. You know, it's like, if you're doing something like that, where it's like, all right, I'm buying I think it's like 100, I think he was doing like 106 or something crazy. 100 boxes, just like by the odds, it's like, okay, that means like at that ratio, not that it's a guarantee, but it's not unlikely for me to pull 2 curios. I mean, it is unlikely, but you know what I mean? It's like your chances are significantly higher. This is my second copy of Retinous Trueblood. It's an airborne, and it says his strike damage against units heals you. It's essentially an errated Dapperel Vampire that costs more and is less powerful. So I guess it's like, to me, that says like it acknowledges that Dapperel Vampire is extremely, like that's kind of the ceiling. Because if they're printing an elite that you can only have 2 of and it's worse, I think Dapperel Vampire has the same threshold, but it costs 1 less and has higher power. I think, right? So this just means, hey, you can have more vampires, but we're only going to let you have 2, and it's actually worse than the exceptional that you already have, which is pretty wild. These are commons. Okay. I like to separate my sites. And that is the first stack of cards. First stack of 12 cards, right? All right. Dredge, Shallow Grave, Savior. We got the other exceptional avatar. There's so many of these. They're really cool arts, but I don't know, say I'm getting tired of pulling them. But I guess that's another thing. I should probably mention other cards I'm looking for. I'm definitely looking for Putrid Presence. It's unique. And I'm also looking for Magician, Realm Eater, Illusionist, some of the other like unique level avatars. I have pulled the duplicator, but I need the other ones. Shackled Demon is our elite, disabled until an adjacent spellcaster taps to release him. It's 4 and 5 power. So you'd be wanting to play in a deck where you already are planning to play a bunch of spellcasters so that you can kind of just slot them in and it's not so much a hindrance. And it's a demons, unless you could like disable the demon. It says it's disabled though, but if you could like, not disable, but if you could silence it somehow. I don't know if there's like a silencing effect for evil. I'm sure there is. Hey, cool. Our first foil is really pretty. It's an Ian Miller. Gibeus Night Haunts. It has Airborne and Voidwalk in air for 3 power and 3 mana. That's really cool. I've noticed a trend on YouTube, and a lot of people have been talking about it lately. They've noticed that it actually seems a lot harder to pull common foils in Gothic. It's more of the exceptionals that you pull, which is interesting. Is that like a joke that they did? Like, oh, okay, it was up until now, it's been a lot easier to get the ordinary foils naturally, but the exceptionals were hard. Let's just flip it. I don't know. So now the ordinaries have a little more value, maybe. I couldn't say. Dread Thicket, an elite site where killers skulk. The first attack out of this site each turn can't be defended. That's really cool. I believe that's my second copy of that card. It's in air. That's really, really cool. Let's get my exceptionals over here. Keep everything very organized so that I can put it away and sort it later and build them into decks. My goal, the kind of player I am, if I pull a foil that's worth more than 20 bucks, as cool as it would be to keep it, to me, I see it as free money. I want to sell it. I want to trade it to buy playable cards that I still need so that I can build any deck I want in the game. Constructed. Stitched Abomination for 7 mana, and ooh, I've never seen that. Its power is undefined, potentially infinite. Let's see. An elite undead straining at the seams by Dud Kovacs. Cool art. It's stitched like crab and bunch of different animals. It's like a Frankenstein. It's got a wing. That's cool. Genesis. Banish up to 3 minions from one cemetery to stitch together. This abomination has their combined power, but each part may be damaged and destroyed separately. That is really hilarious. This game is so... What a blessing that we have this game. Like, how cool is that? So let's... Okay, I gotta pause and think about that because that's just so cool. So you cast this... It says 3 minions from one cemetery. So it has to be from a single one. So either your opponents or yourself, or you, like, you know, if you're playing a deck where you purposely get stuff in the grave. But it's 7 mana. There's probably stuff in the grave naturally anyway, unless someone's playing Graveyard Hate. You banish all 3 of them and literally connect them into one. It does become 1 minion on one site, but it's still 3 different body parts. But it gains the combination. So like if it's 3 4/4s, it's a 12/12. That's attacking for 12, but they can move and attack one body part for 4, killing it. And now it's an 8/8. Still really potentially really powerful. It's goofy. Is it going to be like a top meta card? I really doubt it. But that's just in such spirit of sorcery. Like that sounds like a fun card to slip into a precon deck. That's really hilarious. I love that. There's still so many cards to discover in this. It's crazy. Gothic has so much. Desecrated Ground. Road to Perdition. Very cool. And we got the Necronama Concert. Each differently named undead and instrument nearby joins the band to play, and then you draw a spell for each one. So it's just a big card draw spell. I think the flavor of it is really cool. I think it, again, similar to that Abomination card. But really, you're setting up a whole deck and building around to have a bunch of undead and instruments to get one spell. I guess you could have 2 copies of it to draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Could be good. We got our foil in here. But flavorfully, I think it'd be awesome to build a deck around this. I think it's really cool. Is it going to be super duper powerful? Probably not. But still, flavorfully, a huge flavor win. And we got Monks of Kobalsa. So if ordinary foils are actually rarer than the exceptionals, then we just got a big hit. Chat says, that's so cool. I love the crazy mechanics and themes that they have with these cards. I know, right? And sorry if I'm going a little fast. I know you are saying that you're waiting for your Gothic. I was getting too many complaints that I was going too slow. I went very slow on purpose with my first box, but said, like, I'll go as slow as I want with the first box, and then after that, I'll kind of speed it up, you know? I'm sure I'm not the only YouTuber you're watching, but Monks of Kobalsa, they can't be modified except by wards. So it's a ward-friendly card, 4 power for 4. The foiling's really cool. I mean, if you are coming from another game, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find other games that do foiling this well in all of their, like, commons and uncommons. Like, there's obviously, like, you know, galaxy foils and crazy stuff in other card games, but, like, literally every card in this game has a foil version. And some are maybe better than others, but they're all really, really beautiful. All right. Your speed right now is perfect. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Okay. I feel so too. I feel like we're not rushing. I'm enjoying it. Definitely still taking my appreciation here, but we're, you know, moving past the exceptionals, getting right to the rare. Because I've now seen them quite a bit. Well, we got a unique water spell, so let's hope I can use it in my main deck. Let's see here. I'm a water player, and that's like our 4th or 5th unique, and I still haven't seen a Putrid Presence, which makes me sad. I really, really want that card, but it, you know, I could of course just buy it for $20, but when I have 2 boxes left open, I'm like, I can't order it until after I open my boxes, and then I'll start making trades. The Veil Strains with this unique magic. It costs 5 and 2 water threshold. Deal out your top spells. 1 to each void in the outer... Whoa, hang on. Deal out your top spells, 1 to each void in the outer columns. So just meaning the left side and the right side of the realm. Let's say there's 5 in total, right? So I deal out my top spells. I don't know if there's any order I have to do it in. I dish out 5 spells. Draw any minions with Void Walk or monsters from among them. And banish the rest. Deal out your top spells, 1 to each void in the outer column. So yeah, I think you probably just put them there, you know, face down, and then you flip them over. Draw any minions and Void Walk marks from among them and banish the rest. Oh, draw them. You don't cast them. Oh, okay. Then you don't have to put them on the void. Never mind. So there's 5 void slots on the outer realms. I cast this. I get to draw 5 spells. If any of them are Void Walkers or monsters, they come into my hand. Okay. And actually, that could actually be good. My, maybe. I don't know if I could find something to replace it with, or to like take out in order to put this in. But again, I'm building a water deck, and it has a lot of, I'm actually adding in cards that have Void Walk because I'm playing the Illusionist avatar, which wants your minions to strike their avatar to trigger their effects. So my thinking was like doing a bunch of frogs and polar explorers and ways to get behind his enemy lines and get in with frogs really quick. Even if they just kind of like sacrifice themselves to get in there, it triggers them choosing to either let me draw a card or they take 3. They do get to choose, but I just thought it sounded like a really unique, really fun avatar idea. So even if it ends up not being a good deck at all, I promised myself that I would build at least 2 or 3 decks from Gothic, not caring about whether or not they're good. I just want to build them because I want to build them. So that could potentially go in there because I've added in some water minions that have Void Walk in addition, and then also monsters in order to be able to cast them right next to the avatar and get in, right? I think it fits. So if I can maybe put in a little more Void Walk, I think, or make sure that all of the minions are at least monsters or have them with Void Walk, and then you did that. For 5 mana, I guess if you're using a core, sorry to dwell on this for so long, but I am just thinking out loud. If you use a core or a 4 Waters of Paradise to cheat it out, you get it out. Let's say there's even 6. You look at your top 6 spells, and 3 of them are minions with and or Void Walk, and you get to draw 3 cards. I'll give that some thought. I don't think it'll immediately go in the deck, but it could be really good in the right. I think this in like water/air, like a really, really Void Walk monster deck would be good. Maybe not in mono water, but in a specific Void Walk. I love the thumb screws, by the way. Sorry, I just had to go back to this. The exceptional thumb screws. Oh, that's such good art. All right, and we have pulled... All right, I don't think we're going to get Putrid Presence in this deck because this is our next unique. So we've pulled 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th one. So we'll probably see at least 2 more. Our chances are getting lower, though. But still really cool. I don't think I have this yet. Hellmouth. A unique sight that belches out the damned. Evil minions nearby or being summoned nearby have burrowing. That's interesting. Evil minions nearby or being summoned nearby have burrowing. Makes me think if I want to splash red into my my water deck going underwater and then give everything burrowing. Probably not, but they have to be evil. I mean, thematically it's really cool. They're going into hell, right? All your evil minions have the ability to dig underground. It's really cool. Nice. It's nice to get one of every unique. I'm kind of new to the game, but maybe anyone else here can speak to it. Is it normal with a new set that Eric's Curiosa doesn't have the binders for sale? Oh, I forgot to turn on our very moody and theatrical candle here. There we go. Now we're opening some sorcery. Because, yeah, I was really hoping that as Gothic was about to come out that I could order a Gothic binder, but it's still not for sale. And I was just curious, like, is that what happened with Beta? Is that what happened with Arthurian Legends? A little surprised by that. You would think if they're going to be building binders for a new set, they would release it when the set comes out, but... Sturmgeist, Airborne. Whenever an enemy casts magic, this steps closer and then strikes it if it's adjacent. That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I was just a little bummed. I was hoping to order my Gothic binder, and that's fine. I'll, for now, just put it into the Gothic boxes and sort them all before they go in, but... All right. SGTIS, you got a lot of consonants in your username. 5925 in the chat says, at least you have the cards. In Norway and Europe, we don't even have the cards yet. Man, I can't even laugh at that. I'm sorry. I really am. That's a huge bummer. I have nothing positive to say about that except for that. I'm sorry. And I hope I help, ease the pain a little bit while you're waiting. Do you guys know when you're getting them? You, Tales of Quacks in chat said they're coming the 29th for you. That just feels so late. Why is it so late? I'm sorry to hear it. That's really a bummer. Kiss of Death. This might be my favorite just non-site artwork in the whole set. It is just, and like this stupid webcam does not do it justice. But when and if you get a hold of this card or a foil of it, I'd really love a foil. Just the intricate detailing on the lips. There's like mushrooms here, and it's disgusting, but it's really, really cool. And our rare, hey, wait a minute. I don't think I have this yet, and it's a unique, and it's water. So let me unsleeve it so it doesn't shine in your guys' eyes here. For 4 mana, 2 water threshold, and only 2 power, so I hope it's good. A unique mortal that staves off death. Once on your turn, Demetrius may ward another adjacent minion. That's pretty cool. I wonder, man, there's probably tons of use cases for that, but I wonder how I could utilize that. So it's pretty squishy. You'd probably want to, I don't know if ward, and we got a foil here. I don't know if ward is really heavily played in water in this set. But yeah, if you were playing a ward deck, that'd be great. But I wonder, you know what I mean? Because then you could use a different ward effect to ward this to make sure it doesn't die, and then use it to ward other things. And then if it loses its ward, you reward it, right? No pun, reward. You would guess after Christmas sometime. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's a bummer. 100%, you're working nights, so I love that you're keeping me awake. Thanks for the stream. Hey, cheers. Let me have a sip of tea with you here. I'm also off work. I was working I actually left work just like an hour earlier than I normally do today in order to come and do this recording with you guys. I couldn't wait to come home and try to pull a Putrid Presence, which we haven't pulled yet. We're about to get our next foil here. What do we get? It's a Drew Tucker. What do you guys think it is? Let's play it. Let's have some fun with the stream here. Let's see. What do we... Oh, I don't know. What is that? I thought it was going to be like the hands or whatever. Flaming hands. Ah, Noxious Corpse. That's cool. I feel like I maybe already have this in foil. It's a cool card. It's cool and limited. 2 power for 2 mana and it has lethal. And it's undead. And its flavor text is cool. It says first the fever, then the feast. That's cool. I mean, Drew Tucker is kind of one of my probably my top 3 artists in Sorcery right now. It's like there's flies everywhere. There's flies on its hand. It's all, that's great. That is absolutely, yeah, that's really cool to have. I'm sure the ordinary foils I will personally probably keep most of, especially if I'm a fan of the artist, but anything worth money, I'm personally looking to trade for other cards. It was supposed to be the 12th of December for you guys, but that won't happen. Gosh. Especially during like the holiday season. I don't know. And again, I need to, you know, place blame or whatever, but I don't know. You would just think that with the set already coming out a little later in the year, I don't know. I won't bash on Eric's Curiosa, but just with the my point being is that with the holiday season coming up, you think they would have kind of prepared for like, all right, we need to make sure these are ready well before the holiday season, but I digress. Meat Hook. I actually decided to add 1 and maybe 2 of these into my deck to pull stuff in the water. You can turn anything into a Pudge Butcher with this, which is really cool. Ooh, I don't think I have this yet. Tombstone Wardens. Sounds like a ward ability. An elite monument to Nameless Saints. And it says, during your opponent's turn, this is a 5-power angel automaton with airborne. Huh, so it doesn't have a ward. During your opponent's turn, it's a 5-power angel automaton with airborne. So it only costs 3 though. So you cast it for 3, pass the turn, and then on their turn, it's a 5-power guy that with airborne that can block really, really well. Huh, that's pretty cool. Seems to be a lot of air support in this set. Which I'm not an air player. One of my first decks that I played with kind of competitively was a deck that a friend of mine built that was air and mostly water, but with a splash of air for grapple shot and stuff. I've been interested in making an Avatar of Air deck, but it's an expensive avatar. Avatar of Air costs, I think, like $200 because it's from the alpha set. We got another foil here. There's also a curio in the form of Desecrate that's missing the, not crucifix, what's the word I'm thinking of? The pentagram. So keep an eye out for that. If you see one without a pentagram, congratulations, you have a curio. I believe I have this, I do. Vindictive Nation, an elite site that answers insult with injury. And it says opponents lose 1, 3, or 7 life respectively if they modify, move, or destroy a nearby allied site. So I guess modifying a site with ward. Pause. Apologize. If my wife has to open the door to leave the room, my voice carries to my son's room where he's asleep. So when she opens the door, I have to pause. So you'll hear me go like, pause. That's what that is. So yeah, against if they're playing ward, so modify is the first one. They lose 1 life every time they ward a nearby site, essentially is how I read that. But maybe there will be more site destruction in the future where that's way, way more prominent. Another foil here. Let's see. What do we get? What trading card game did I come from before Sorcery? I personally came from Magic. I was playing competitive Standard and Draft Magic until I discovered Sorcery. And this is now my game of choice. It's absolutely what I'm looking for in a game, in a trading card game. It checks all those boxes, right? High fantasy, it's old school. Yeah, you guys already know. I think everything it's an incredible game, and I love everything that it's doing for the most part. I would say like 95%. I don't even really have any complaints, really. I just kind of, I don't want to sound like everything's perfect, Like the fact that you guys don't have cards in Europe, for example. I think that's the only complaint I have, or that most people have, is the logistics of it. Like Dragon Lord coming out and it's hard to get. Like I have mine, so I'm okay, but like it's a bummer that some people can't get it. Yeah, things like that. It's more of like on the distribution side of it that I think people have some critiques, which is fair. It's a new company, it's a small company, and that's still a fair argument. But as the game grows, they will also, over time, they will have to kind of figure that out. But I err on the side of optimism because it's a great game. There's only one set a year, so even if it's hard to get, you will eventually get your hands on it. If that's any optimism to you guys, yeah, you guys might be a few weeks behind us, but we're all going to be in that lull a few months from now with the new set. So good. I hope it gets better. And we got our exceptional Those Who Linger foil. Pretty sweet. I know that's easier said from my perspective because I'm opening a bunch of great Gothic cards right now. Trust me, the days leading up to this, I felt like an addict. And I was itching. I felt like an addict today at work. I was like, gosh, I gotta go home early and get the stream started. I can't wait to open up some new cards and get that Putrid Presence, hopefully. Four fat frogs. You summon 4 frogs to an allied site. Now, when it says summon, okay, it's an allied site. It's actually, wait a minute. I have a rules question with this. So when you play Plague of Frogs, pardon me pausing here and we're live, but Plague of Frogs, Sorcery, TCG. I think it says summon 7 frog tokens, right? That's all it says. Summon 7 frog tokens. So the way that summon works in Sorcery is you're not casting it from your hand to a certain site. You can summon, which means it can summon anywhere in the realm. It's something most new players would not know. And I certainly didn't know until someone told me. But this says summon 4 frog tokens. If it just said that would mean you can put them anywhere. And this would be really, 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 really good. But it summoned 4 frog tokens to an allied site. So to me, that sounds like it's all going on one site. But correct me if I'm wrong. If you can play 4 frogs among all of your allied sites anywhere, that would be really cool. Let me know. I don't think that's the case, but that would be sweet. An elite. We got the Bleeding Skull. Whenever a minion dies nearby, your opponent loses 1 life. Pretty cool. So that'd be cool in like a self-sacrifice deck where you can force those deaths. You said competitive standard. That's interesting because I come from competitive modern, but I wanted out of Magic, so only Sorcery for me, and I love it. Yeah, and again, I could go off on Magic, and I won't because I try to keep things positive here, and we could save that for another video. But yes, I share. I'll just say I share the sentiment, I think, of most Magic players that are deciding to switch over to Sorcery right now. I'll just say that. Like, I hear you, brother, is what I'm trying to say. Definitely. I'll just say that this, rather than be negative toward Magic, I'll just say that this is more my game. And I think that's the case for a lot of people coming over from Magic or from other trading card games. There's great things, we owe our respects to that game and other TCGs that come before it. And this is obviously inspired completely from old school Magic. Like, let's just be honest, right? Has gone in a very, very interesting and different direction. Greater Blood Demon. That I personally, got to the point where I was done. But fortunately, I was able to very quickly and very seamlessly switch out of Magic over into Sorcery. I was already frequenting my local game store once or twice a week. I was already collecting a bunch of cards in binders and organizing them. And, I have a personal budget for how much I'm allowed to spend on cards and a collection I can sell. So I just sold my whole collection, used it to buy Sorcery, and here we are. And we have a foil in here. What do we get? Oh, that's cool. Could you imagine if this was a foil Curio, Gift of the Frog card? The foil Curio. Could you imagine if they did foil Curios? That'd probably be a bad idea. We are 1 pack away from being 2/3 of the way done with the box. Thanks for sticking with me. But hey, Gift of the Frog foil is really cool. Again, like I said, I am one to sell my foils to trade for other cards that I need. But this might be one I would actually keep. I couldn't imagine an ordinary foil is worth more than $5. Maybe it's worth more. I don't know. If someone offered me like $10 worth in trades for it and this was only worth $5 or $10, I'd probably do it. But I plan to play this card in my deck, 3 or 4 copies. It'd be really cool to just, boop. How much is it? 2? All right, I played 2, give to the frog. With the blinked frog, I create a frog token at an allied site and draw a spell. That's cool. So for my own deck, I'm actually really happy to pull that. That's cool. I'd probably keep that. That's not true for most foils. Most foils I'm wanting to get rid of so I can get those trades in. All right. How are you guys feeling? You think we should do a second box after this? Show of hands. I'm not Moneybags Magoo. I don't open a lot of boxes. This is my 4th box, I think. Yeah, my 4th box that I've opened. 3rd I've opened on the channel. I opened one off camera for myself, just for fun. Moving forward, I'll probably open every box of Sorcery on camera in case we pull something crazy. I'd hate to miss it. But it was cool to pull a box just by myself. I just had a cold beer and was just kind of listening to music and hanging out by myself, opening some cards. It was a good time. But luckily, I didn't pull anything too crazy in that opening because as I was opening the cards, I'm like, man, I probably should have recorded this. An elite demon of unbridled wrath, destroy sites that it strikes and other minions there. That's really cool. So like Death Eater kind of stuff. Or Realm Eater, rather. Which I haven't pulled either. I need Realm Eater and Magician. Imposter looks cool. What avatars are you guys interested from Gothic? I'm most interested in Imposter. Not Imposter, sorry. Interrogator. Where if one of your allies strikes a avatar. Oh, cool. Lord of Greed. Nice. I haven't pulled this yet. Then either you draw a card or they take 3. They choose. And I figured if I got a bunch of Void Walk and Frogging, I thought it'd be fun. So we'll play with that. That'll be my first. The 10th. I think there's only 2 more days to sign up for the online league with Ira's League. Lord of Greed, an elite demon of ill-gotten gains, 6 for 6. It can't drop artifacts. At the end of your turn, Lord of Greed snatches an artifact from elsewhere into his hands. Whoa. Is elsewhere as a keyword anywhere in the realm? Or can it take them from the graveyard too? Elsewhere to me almost reads like graveyard. All right, let me catch up on some comments here. You come from competitive Magic, and how is the feel of the lower level of competitive feeling of Sorcery? It's more casual even at a competitive level because it's hard to build decks that are consistent. Yeah, I find it really refreshing personally. This is just my selfish. Sorcery never gets too sweaty. There will always be competitive players, and I'm actually my local game group. As we're getting ready for SCGCon Portland, we're all in the. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so I will be attending SCG Portland. Here in USA, and we are starting a Discord and stuff and getting together and planning to meet weekly to get not sweaty but to brew decks and to do try to get as ready as we can for that tournament to be ready for competitive. But like you said, even at the highest level, even at the final table where it's the top 2 guys, you see them, they touch knuckles. They do takesies backsies. They're laughing. They're trying to win. It's high stakes, but the nature of it is still kitchen table card gaming at the end of the day. And I think that is so special. And I hope that never goes away. I think it's great. And yeah, the one unique, etc. Hey, and thank you for the subscription on YouTube. Thank you. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I appreciate it. Animist and Interrogator mostly, says Carl Testa. Thanks for your comment. Animist because it reminds me of the Enchantress and Interrogator because I opened it. Yeah, same here for the Interrogator. I was like, yes. I'm interested in the Duplicator, but I know I can't afford it. But I'm interested in playing with it on Tabletop Simulator. For those who don't know, there's a card called the Duplicator that reads your sites and spells can only be pairs of uniques, meaning so that's a big difference from this game to other card games is you can only have one copy of a unique level rarity, which is the mythic equivalent of Magic in a deck. So like, I think I'm gonna call you Sergeant if that's okay. Thanks for following SGT Sergeant in the chat. As Sergeant was saying, like, how do you find, you know, the competitive being a little less reliable in this game because you can only have one unique in your deck? Because in other games, you could, if I could have 4 copies of this, I'm gonna draw it, right? At least it's very likely that I'll draw it the turn, or that, you know, in the game. Base of Babel. Oh, great. Yeah, so we have our Tower of Babel and our Base of Babel. So let's have a look here. I now have I'm really glad to get the Apex. How cool is that? Wow, that's so sick. This would be so cool to have in foil. To have the full art. Oh, that is super, super cool. We should leave this like that. That's just too cool. Look at that. That's awesome. I love it. But you could play with the duplicator. Yeah, so the duplicator allows you to play with 2 copies of each unique, which is great, but uniques are very expensive. They can be like 20, 30, 50, you know, 2 Ring of Morgans. It's $200. It's crazy. Spellcaster and Ward on the Paladins of Basia. Sounds just, you know, it's just, again, kind of a silly card that will only get better as time goes on, because as every set comes out, there will be new uniques that you can splash into it. But, like, I couldn't imagine wanting to buy a second copy of Boudica, a second copy of Jihad. Like, you know what I mean? That's crazy. So I think most people, it's almost kind of a joke unless you have the money bags or you rip a lot of packs and you have a big collection. It's kind of a flex avatar, honestly. I don't know if it's actually would be any good, but I'm absolutely going to be playing with it on Tabletop Simulator. So for me, it's the Interrogator, the Duplicator, and then oddly enough, the next avatar I want to build is with Pathfinder, which is not Gothic, but I've never played with it, and I've always wanted to build around it. Frozen Horror says it has stealth, and then you can break the stealth to disable other nearby minions, plural, until your next turn. So that could be really good control. Ooh, what's this one? Carl agrees. Yeah, the duplicator is basically only viable online, is what he says. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be really good in Tabletop Simulator for sure. Pilgrim's Shrine. This is really cool. By Truett Parish. An elite site that bestows a parting gift. It says ward. When a minion leaves here, transfer this site's ward to it. Cool. So yeah, in Earth, a lot of Earth wants to do the warding stuff. That's really cool. I'm actually running Slimy Mutants in my main deck. Is that weird? Because I'm playing a bunch of frogs, transform any ally with Submerge into Slimy Mutants from your hand. So if I have 3 copies of this, yeah, I have a frog. I can pay 3 to get a 4 power on here, and it has Submerge. It seems pretty good to me for the deck I'm trying to do. Uh-oh, somebody's awake. Somebody's awake. We had wake. Sorry to bore you with parent talk. This is how many packs are left in this first box, by the way. Thanks for hanging out if you have. If people want to hang out longer, I'm happy to open up my final box for the year, which is the next box that we have. Sergeant said, go for the second box. Well, that's all the convincing I needed. I'll catch up on comments here really quick. Let me pull to the rare, and then I'll read some comments. I can get sidetracked. Mimic is really cool. I think I'll probably run one of these in my deck. It does cost 4 mana, but as you summon it, you may transform a carryable artifact into it under your control, meaning like if they have a Ring of Morgan and they pass the turn, you go, oh, great. Okay, I pay 4. I'm going to Mimic, which transforms your Ring of Morgan into my Mimic, and now it's a... Pause, sorry. I have a 2-power minion right on their face. And this could be really good, especially in the deck, the Interrogator deck. I want to get stuff right onto his avatar. This is one means in which I could do that. If they play a core, oh, sorry. At the very least, you're removing their Ring of Morgan, they're removing their core, you're removing one of their mixes. And even if you don't get the thing off, or you don't get this to attack, to do the thing, you get to remove, it's a good way to have artifact removal in water. I think. I'm gonna at least try playing with 1 copy and see if it's any good. Hey, we got the false idol, and I promised I would catch up on comments, so let's just hold this here. Let me see where we're at here. Sergeant says, I have a bit of a hard time going from super competitive Magic to Flesh and Blood to Sorcery, just because I love the sweaty, intense feeling of competing and achieving things. I can respect that. I really can. Yeah. I think I don't know what I think. I was about to say maybe like draft could be a little more, but again, I think the nature of this game does always lean more toward casual. I feel you for sure. I find it refreshing, but I can see what you're saying. Does the Sphere of Animosity seem too strong, or is there other interaction with auras in the set that it's not much of a problem? I forget what it does, so let's look it up. The Sphere of Animosity. There's a lot. Oh, my bad. I have to be specific. Sorcery. There we go. I forget what this card does. It says Sphere of Animosity. It's 3 mana and 2 air threshold, and it's an elite aura of deep dark desperation. I actually haven't seen this. That's cool. It's Elvira art, and it says avatars here. Wait, what? Oh, hang on now, brother. That might convince me. I don't know if I have a clean way of opening this up on stream, so I'm not going to try it right now in case I accidentally, show my desktop. And so forgive me. Again, it's 3 mana and 2 air threshold, and it's an aura that says avatars here can't leave, heal, or be defended. Now that I'm seeing this, I haven't pulled it yet, but if I do, I think I'm definitely going to change my approach from a froggy deck, or maybe I'll still build the frog one for fun. But I think from a competitive approach, I would try to build a water and a splash of air deck to be able to include 2 copies of this card. That's insane. Do I think it's too powerful? No, there are ways to get rid of auras for sure. There's answers to it. If they have a dispel or disenchant, or I think there's even aura removal now in water. There's another card I think in Gothic that came out that gives water some more options against. Basically, I think it's like air and earth will always have more aura and artifact removal. But in fire and water, it will have similar effects, but you have to do something to get it. You have to like sacrifice something, or it's a little bit more work and not as consistent, but it allows you to still be able to remove things. But it's, I think every element should not be equal. They should all have their strengths and weaknesses, and removal of those types of cards is one of the weaknesses. But of course now let's, for the example of water, right? We got swap. So that's huge. That's kind of artifact removal, or can be, right? As just one example. So I like that the thresholds are all different. The different elements, rather. What is that? Oh, it's just plastic. I thought it was damaged. Sphere of Animosity. To answer your question, though, does it seem too strong? I don't know. There's a lot of really, really powerful auras in the game as it already stands. Whoa, that's cool. The Rat King. Oh, I've heard of this card. I haven't seen it yet, though. Let me just hold this here, and I gotta still catch up on comments. There's like Jihad and Crusade and Atlantean Fate. There's so many really, really game changing. So do I think it's too strong? I think it's very strong. I think it's game changingly strong. But is it too much that they can't interact and get rid of it? No, I don't think so. But now that you've shown it to me, I hope I pull 2 copies of it, because I would really like to. That's exactly what Interrogator would want to play. You hope you get over it because the game is fantastic. Yeah, and there's draft, and there's other ways to play that maybe you'll try draft and find that to be just sweaty enough, because at the very least, if you're the one trying hardest in your friends group, maybe you'll always get the win, and that's like good enough for you, or you'll find other competitive players online, because there's a good draft scene online, by the way, if you're not familiar. Maybe you are, but Sorcerers at the core. They're based in Europe, but they do an online draft every week. And they do one for North America as well. I don't know where you're at, but actually you're probably in Europe, right? So definitely check things like that out. But if you're ever looking to play matches, by the way, anyone here, and if I can't follow up with it, don't take it personally, but always feel free to shoot me a DM like, hey, looking for a game, whenever, like, just if you ever do, send me a DM just saying like, hey, if you ever want to play a match, let me know. Maybe don't say, hey, can you play right now? Because I might be busy or whatever. But just to kind of add you to my roster of potential players to play against. I kind of have that in Discord of like, I'll just hit up like 5 different people and be like, hey, can you play? hit me up, because I am trying to play competitively, but maybe not sweaty, but I am trying to get better at the game because I'm not the strongest player. You're kind of a new father yourself. Your kid is 1.5 years. Hey, you and me both, brother. You and me both. He's 19 months, our son. Congratulations. Something that fit with one set a year in less competitive environment. Oh, having a kid? Exactly. Welcome. You came to the right game if you just had a kid. This is a good game if you've had a kid because it's just a little bit slower pace. All right. Thanks for waiting. The Rat King. I've never seen this, and it has it's 3 mana, 1 Earth threshold for 3 power. It says Tangled Beasts comprise an elite king by Zondi. That's really cool. My buddy's fiance pulled this card. They both started playing the game, and him and his fiance have been playing the game. He was actually on the channel. My buddy Mikey. So I made a video where I was teaching him how to play Sorcery. If you ever feel like watching something like that, he got his fiance into the game, and they ripped 1 box of Gothic, and she's going to become the Rat King. I think that's awesome. So now I actually get to see what it does. Genesis and Deathrite. Genesis is enter the battlefield. Deathrite is when it dies. Search your top 6 spells. You may summon an ordinary rat from among them to each other adjacent site. Okay. And then put the rest at the bottom of your spell book. That's cool. So you search your top 6 spells. I don't know if there's like an ordinary rat that says you can have any amount of rats in your deck. That would be cool. Kind of like the wolf deck. That would make this really, really cool. When this enters, you search for 6 spells, and then adjacent means it's a max of 4. No, it could be 5 because adjacent includes itself. So you search for 6 and 5 of them are rats. You get 5 rats. And then when this thing dies, you get 5 more. That could be really, really cool. Thematically, it's awesome. I think that'd be interesting to build around. At the very least, hilarious to build around. I think it's cool. All right, we're about 6 or 7 packs away from our first box, and I think we'll crack a second one. You know why I kind of want to crack the second box also? Is I need to get back to editing. I've got a backlog of some videos. There's some rounds that I still need to edit from the Vegas trip. I haven't completely finished the Vegas recap video yet. I'm still working on it. I've just been busy. You know, I come back and go back to work, and you have to pick and choose which videos to start on, and I probably could have done it better, but they'll come out. They'll come out. So I figure if we rip open all these boxes now, then it's like, all right, no more boxes for 2025. Ooh, Cursed Iron. Cool. It's only Elite, but I still really wanted it because I haven't pulled it yet. That's awesome. That's got to be one of the best arts in the set. You can see the iron is literally like baked into its skin. It's so like he's had it for so long. It's like literally in his arm. It's so cool. An Elite aura to punish the possessive. Another aura here. Artifacts here cannot be dropped, and each deals 1 damage to its bearer at the end of each turn. Huh. Artifacts here can't be dropped. This is certainly interesting. There's a lot of like artifacts can't be dropped effects that I've seen. I played against it in a draft, which was there's a site I think that says like there's a site actually that sucks in artifacts, and then they can't be carried. Something to that. I think that's how it read. So it essentially like sucks in all artifacts that aren't, or no, it sucks in artifacts even if they're being carried. So if you play the site, any artifact and anyone carrying artifacts gets sucked in 1 step. And if they get sucked into that thing, the artifacts are stuck there forever. It's really, really, really interesting to see. Carl is thinking of playing tons of rats that keep swarming and eventually will be able to strike the avatar. Yeah, like that would be another good candidate for the interrogator deck. Like my thinking is doing basically an interrogator deck, but with a bunch of frogs. You could probably do it with a bunch of rats. Hey, we got the Sphinx. I really like this art. I love this in foil. Really, really cool. The Sphinx sarcophagus, an elite site that recites a riddle of rhyme. Genesis, banish 2 identical spells from cemeteries to draw a spell. So this is like a build around card. You would want to have those identical cards. Whoa! To trigger that, or be able to trigger that. Yeah, I think we'll just open up both boxes here, guys. I'm not usually one to like. I'm more of someone who would be like, all right, let's save the box for another video because I could either get 1 video now or get 2 videos. But like I said, I do need to get back to editing. So I think this weekend I'm going to switch over from the the Gothic unboxing. Maybe we'll do some online tabletop sim streams this weekend. I do need to play more. I haven't played any Gothic yet. I played a sealed draft, and that's it. I've built one deck on Tabletop Simulator, and I really want to play with it. Book Burners. Elite Mortals consign history to ash. I haven't seen this yet. Once on your turn, Book Burners may banish a document from the realm. A document. So anything that's a book. Like, I wonder if the manuscript counts. The mnemotic manuscript or whatever it's called. I wonder what counts as a document. Once on your turn, Book Burners may banish a document from the realm or a magic from a cemetery. Huh. That's interesting. It sounds cool. Plague rat. So there's one of your rats, and it's ordinary. So you could have 4 of those. There's probably another kind of rat that's ordinary, and then maybe an exceptional rat. So maybe you don't need to have unlimited for it to be good, or, able to get a ton of rats in the deck. I actually don't know. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. I'm just ripping packs. Congrats. Having the kid is the best I've ever experienced. Oh, me too, brother. It's the best. It's exhausting, but it's the best. And you sound like a really nice person, so I'm sure you both have a great time. Oh, well, I have hard days too. But at the end of the day, it's great. The best days are when you get to go visit family and all the uncles and aunts and grandmas are playing with the baby and you get a little break. Then you can appreciate, oh yeah, my kid is really cute. Not that I ever think he isn't cute, but you know what I mean. Just being around him all day, every day, it can be tiring. But then it has its moments. Ooh, I don't have this yet. Do I have this? I don't think so. Aether Amoeba. An elite monster of expanding ectoplasm. For 3 and 2 air threshold, it comes in at 0, but it has Void Walk and says it moves by expanding from any part of itself. Oh, I think I do have this. It occupies all location it has ever occupied, and it has +1 power for each one that is void. Okay, so with Void Walk, that means you could cast it to like a column that's in the void. And then it moves by expanding from any part of itself. It doesn't have flying though, or airborne. So that to me that sounds like it can only move adjacent. But you go, okay, I'm going to move over this way. All right, now it's a 2/2 because it's in the void, and then move this way. Now it's a 3/3 because it's in the void. And then instead of like moving and attacking, it just has to move. And then okay, it has 3, but it hits the site, and it's this weird thing that keeps growing. That's cool. That's cool. I don't know if I would ever actually play with that, but a lot of cool Void Walk stuff in the set. I love to see that subsurf other areas, I think is the word, are 3 more packs are being shown some love. What's your best hit on all of my boxes ever? It was in Vegas and I didn't upload it. I did record it, but the footage was so grainy and ugly on an old GoPro, I decided not to upload it. But I posted a picture of it. I got a foil onyx core from Beta. And actually, maybe the best hit I've had was the foil Shrine of the Dragon Lord, which I actually just sold from Dragon Lord box. But from like regular boxes, it was a foil onyx core. And what made it really special was I opened a Beta box and I opened a regular onyx core. And I was like, nice, onyx core, cool. It's like 40, 50 bucks. And in the same box, I got a foil onyx core. So I got 2 onyx cores, one of them foil. That felt really, really cool. Forlorn Keep. Oh, this is the one that brings in the 3/3 Earth Knight from the collection. That's cool. Every threshold has one of those equivalents. Hey, I finally got the demonic contract. I thought this was a unique for some reason. It's really flavorfully super cool. So at first read, it seems extremely good, and it is. But it has you have to read the fine print literally. It's 2 mana and 2 fire threshold for a demonic contract. And even like the formatting here, it says Elite Magic, sign here. This isn't a curio, is it? Like the fact that it's like formatted on the left here with a colon. Is this a curio? Should I get this in a sleeve here? It says search your spell book for any card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. You're like, oh my gosh, it's a tutor for any card? That's insane. Wait a minute, what's this flavor text here? My camera won't even pick it up, it's so tiny. I'm gonna read it though. It's a paragraph. You may only search for a spell that has rarity lower or equal to a demon minion that you control. As an additional cost to cast Demonic Contract, you must pay 4 life or reach another accord with said demon by sacrificing a coin, egg, frog, gem, goat, rune, treasure, or mortal soul. Jeez. So, all right, you have a demon on the field that's an elite. I cast Demonic Contract, and I pay 4 life, and I can find any elite spell in my deck. Alternatively, I could sack a frog and look for any elite or less in my deck. So as long as you have an elite or a unique, if you have a unique, you can find anything, which is really, really cool. That's awesome. Flavorfully, that's awesome. Use common sense and return to nature to continually put the rats back in the deck. I have heard people talk about that combo. So we could, I'm sure I have a return to nature here. I think return to nature just says put stuff from the graveyard to the bottom of your deck. Or shuffle them back in, something to that effect. It's a common, right? Or ordinary? Uh-oh. I thought it was ordinary. It has that many cards. It's like, is it exceptional? Let's try here. Jeez. Okay. Ordinary magic that preserves the natural order. Return up to 3 cards from a cemetery to the bottom of their decks. From a cemetery to the bottom of their decks, draw a spell. So you can only do it to your own spells. Listen, I mean, you could do it to your opponents if you wanted to have graveyard hate, but the idea of with what you are discussing with having rats, you'd get rats and then put them back into your deck and then keep going. Yeah, you could. And then you could Demonic Contract for the Rat King. There you go. The first draft of Sorcery I ever played, I opened an Alpha Foil Highland Princess. Jeez. That's nuts. Wow. That's shockingly good. And it looks like we have one more. How many foils did we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, is that it? Yeah, these are just for show. Okay, actually, in these next packs, we should probably get 2 more foils. Maybe even one in every pack. And some packs in Gothic, for whatever reason, have 2 foils in them. It's weird. I haven't pulled one yet myself. I don't think it's too exciting, but it's still cool. Spore Spouts. Ordinary Sight of the Fungus. You may cast minions with 2 or less power to any site this turn is the Genesis, which is cool. I got to use that in Limited. Got to put a guy right on their avatar. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It's an air. No curios for me. I'll be honest, I don't think I rip enough packs or boxes that I would ever realistically ever pull a curio. Hey, not saying never, but I don't think it's in my... Ooh, big hit. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. I don't think I've gotten any of these yet, and I've heard they're really good, and I hope it's the water one. Yes, it is. Let's go. All right, now do I add this into my froggy water interrogator deck? I was thinking about this at work today because I was listening to people opening packs, and they mentioned this card, and I was like, yeah, this could actually be really good card draw. Once you ramp up to like 5 or 6 mana, and this draws you a spell every turn. I think these are going, I don't know the price on these, but they've got to be at least $30. I think there's 4 of them. It's air and water, and I was telling you guys I'm considering doing water and air, so I think this might be a sign. I'll still build my Froggy deck to be hilarious, but I think for the Tabletop Simulator IRA League, there's 2 more days to submit a deck. I think we'll do a live stream tomorrow, or maybe the next day, where we build a new deck together. How does that sound? I don't know if that would be very fun or not. And I'm pretty new to the game anyway, so my deck building skills aren't great, but I think that could be interesting. I'm willing to try anything on this channel once, and we'll see what sticks, you know? Let's give it a try. I think that'd be fun. Let's read it. Dank Umphalos. It is a unique monument, and it's soaked epicenter. It has air and water. It's an air and water spellcaster, but it's a monument, so it can't be picked up. Don't think it can be moved. It could probably be moved by like a swap, but it can't be picked up. It's an air and water spellcaster monument, and at the end of your turn, this Umphalos draws a spell which only it can cast, and minions it casts must be summoned here. But really, really cool. You get this in a good spot, like right in line of their avatar. And then at the end of your turn, you draw a spell and put it right, you know, it's like a Morgana Le Fay. Next turn, you flip it over and snowball them or something. That could be nuts. Very, very excited to pull that. I think that's the highlight of this box for me personally. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Specifically because it's in the colors that I am interested in, water and air. So I think we will try to build a water and air deck and be able to include that. The only card that I'm really, really missing, and it's probably not even the best card, like now that I think about it more, it's like maybe it's not that great, but Putrid Presence is my #1 chase card right now, personally. Don't ask me why, but it is. I want to be able to attack sites underground. This is our final pack for this box. I may wrap this stream up. And maybe, I don't know, should we just open another box and then I'll just edit this weekend? I don't know. Last pack of the box, though. Let's see. Ghost Town. Breathed in Righteousness. And a rare, I haven't seen this yet. I really like, is it Matthias doing all of the, I can't remember, but all of this like kind of sci-fi art is really cool. And I don't know if it's Matthias doing all of it, but I believe it's one artist style, so I'm going to assume it is. There's a few other cards. There's like a Submerge and Void Walk, kind of Eye of the Beholder looking guy. It's like very old school 1960s sci-fi looking art. Like this, I mean, this looks like, you know, Star Trek or something, right? Super, super cool. Something about the lighting hitting right here, that alone is like the feature of this art that makes it look old school to me. I think if that was missing, this would look cool. But for whatever reason, that right there, I don't know what about it. Is it that it makes it look like more like a fake man's suit, or is it, I don't know. Really cool though. Really cool art. All right, 7 mana, 3 earth threshold for 6 power, an elite monster of chthonic coils, burrowing, and it says Genesis. If an ally died last turn, this card may drag the killer from an adjacent site to here. That's interesting. Really, really cool art. Love it. Sergeant said, I'm done at work and I need to go home and sleep, so you should save the box. I'm leaning toward opening the box tomorrow. I'm getting a little tired myself. And hey, we got another foil. Let's hope it's a Putrid Presence. Yeah, I'm actually feeling kind of tired. So yeah, this was a good test stream. I got a good, how long did it take me to open this box? An hour? Hour and a half? I think that's probably long enough anyway, right? Yeah, let's save the next box for tomorrow or Friday. And then we'll do one stream of opening a box and we'll do one stream of building a deck, which we need to open the box first before we build the deck, because I want to build a deck based on the cards that I've pulled, right? I don't know. Should we just open the box now? I can't decide. Let's see. It depends on what this is. Ooh, that's cool. Foil Death Knight. Nice. That is cool. An exceptional commander of the dead. Other nearby undead allies have +1 power. Nice. Have I opened Jack the Ripper? I have not. I have not. That's cool. All right, yeah. Highlights for me personally. You know, whether or not they're actually rare or worth a lot. They're probably not super chase cards, but just for as a guy playing the game here. Really like that we got, just clean up here, the Tower of Babel. So I finally have the Apex of Babel. That's really cool. Just to check it off. That's a highlight for sure. I do love the foil Gift of the Frog, just because I plan to play a Froggy deck. at least I'll probably still build that and play with it like for fun. But I think we're gonna do the water and air deck in the more competitive attempt in the Ira League. The next one is the Dank Omphalos, again being water and air. Spellcaster that draws you a spell every turn. That's super, excuse me, getting burps here. That's gross. That's really cool to have. And I think for me, that was it. I mean, there's other cool stuff here and things that I do need. Getting Demonic Contract is nice. Cursed Iron's cool. Rat King is cool. But they're not things I plan to build with right now. But getting the Omphalos was huge. Definitely huge. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for hanging out. I think I'm going to wrap it up there. I do have another box that I could open, and I'm tempted to do it, but I think I'm rather going to hop off and rest my voice, get some rest for work tomorrow. And I will plan on doing another follow-up stream tomorrow night. So if you guys enjoyed this, or if you're new, subscribe if you haven't. And I'll try to schedule the stream for tomorrow so that you can see it and set yourself a notification reminder in case you want to watch. There's a lot of people opening Gothic, so hopefully I'm just one of that you can choose to watch from. And again, I do have my Team Covenant token promo tokens here, which is great. I will probably be trading and or selling them for other cards. If I was a bigger YouTuber, I'd be doing a giveaway, but I'm not. So I need to get as much value as I can out of these in the form of trading for other cards. Hey, does someone want to trade one of these for a Putrid Presence? Because I'll do it. I think Putrid Presence is worth about $20. And I think these go for at least 25 to maybe 50. And I don't even know if that's right or not. If anyone has a Putrid Presence for trade, I will trade you one of these. No questions asked. So anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for tuning into my very first stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time with another video related to sorcery. And I look forward to it. Hope you guys have a good night. Nice chatting with you. Nice to meet y'all. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.